y'all, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, I am Umaira, travel agent and founder of Acceso Mágico Travel Agency. Today's topic is a story time. We are going to talk about my first time in Amsterdam. So this video is going to be long and I'm going to try to make it as short as I can, but bear with me. We might end up having 2 or 3 episodes of my first time in Amsterdam because it was great. So let's start. We started our journey from CLT, and that's short for Charlotte Douglas International Airport in North Carolina. Our first connection was in New York City, John F. Kennedy Airport. And when we were there, our connection was about a couple of hours, give or take. So we decided to exchange our currency there. Not to be just sitting down doing nothing. That's the first thing that we did once we got to the airport. We did this in JFK, and then we went to see our gate. We looked for it, and then we sat down. We were we weren't hungry, but we didn't know what to expect for that trip. And it is the cutest thing. They have food trucks at that in that waiting area. It was so cute. They have like a little cafeteria where they catch you out or whatever, but they have, I think it was 2 or 3. One was pizza, the other one was tacos, and the other one was like bowls, something. And we decided to get the pizza, which was awesome. Well, let me first tell you. So our first plane leaving from CLT to JFK was at 4, and I was so nervous. I was so anxious that I had my coffee. I always have to have coffee, but I didn't have anything else. And then, before, when we woke up and it was early, for some reason, I am not an early bird unless I am on a vacation. But for some reason that day, I woke up and it was like 7 o'clock in the morning, and I had my coffee, whatever. And then like my stomach was shut down. Like I couldn't eat anything. Like I wasn't hungry. I had so much energy to do so many things but eat. And then I was like, well, it's better if I don't. And then at the airport, I'll just have like a sandwich or whatever. From 7 o'clock to, I needed to be at the airport by 2. And the airport is about 10 minutes from my house. So I was like, I have more than enough time. I had already packed. Everything was set for me to go. Like I wanted to go. So when we got to New York, it was like when I'm like, ooh, I'm hungry. And then I realized, of course I'm hungry. I haven't had anything to eat all day. So we had the pizza, and then it was like, once we finished that pizza, it was time to board the airplane because usually it's delayed. Ours was early. So we ran to our gate and boarded that plane. We put our luggage in the luggage cab, in the luggage thing. So much for a traveler that doesn't know what that is called, but yeah. We put away our luggage. I had a personal item, a bag. I set everything, my headphones, my cell phone, my tablet, the screen in front of me, everything was set to go. And husband, he's like, okay, I'm good. He sit back and relaxed. I'm here trying to see which movie I'm going to watch first, what I'm going to do next. Oh, and I had to work. I had some vacations to work on. So I was like, okay, trying to set what I was going to do first and whatever, because I had 6 hours ahead of me. So the plane takes off. The flight attendants, they're telling you, the whatever they tell you about the mask and the life vest and whatever. And they said in the front pocket is a menu. And I'm like, menu? Because, by that time, that plane was late, like late night. And I was like, menu? So I went and checked that out. and I like whatever was on the menu. And I'm like, I'm still kind of hungry. And besides, we were getting to our next stop. It was going to be, I believe it was like 7 o'clock in the morning. So I'm like, it's 9. So from 9 to 7, I bet I'm going to be hungry. So I was like, okay. So I started watching a movie. Yeah, I sit back, I started watching a movie, and it was already time to eat. They, the flight attendants came, they gave us our meal. Oh my God, it was so good. It was the best food I've ever had on a plane, like the best. It was mashed potatoes with some kind of gravy, and I don't do gravy, but it was so good. It was that good. I don't do gravy, and I ate it all with some kind of chicken and something, I don't know, and another kind of sauce. If I remember correctly, it was brownie, bread. I know it was some kind of fruit. I can't remember what fruit, but I know it was some kind of fruit. And it was good. It was good. So I ate on my meal. I try to wake hubby to eat, and he's like, I'm not doing that. It's like, sleep. So I kept watching movies. So maybe in between movie and movie, I did the work that I had to do. So we flew American Airlines, and I think it was like $5, and I had Wi-Fi, so I was able to work. I watched movies, I ate, I worked, I watched movies, and I finally fall asleep because there was nothing to do and it was so dark. So I fall asleep and something woke me up, like I heard something maybe, and I'm like, and I see they're serving coffee, and I'm like, oh my God, I need that. I think maybe before I was done with the coffee, the pilot announced that we were close to our destination. At that time, our destination was London. London was our second connection. I made my trip like that. When you're traveling, it doesn't necessarily has to be like that many stops or whatever. I designed it that way. And previously we thought, or our plans was, once we got to London, go out and explore the city. But actually we were so tired, and we had about 8 we had between 8 and 10 hours to spare. But still, like, I was like, you know what, no, let's just stay here and wait. So we landed in London. When we were having our coffee and whatever, the flight attendant announced that it was time for us to fill out our landing cards. We didn't have to fill one out, just because London wasn't our destination. It was just a connection. But the others did. And it's cool because you can do that in the airplane and just go through immigration. So we landed. We have signs in all the airport. We landed in Gatwick. We did have to change terminals because then we were going on a different airline. So we did that. We have to go up, go down, walk here, walk there. But yeah, it was easy to walk through. It was, and it's beautiful. Let me tell you, it is beautiful. We had to go again through TSA. We had to wait because it's not our normal TSA lines. Like, it's weird. And they had like 2 separate TSA counters where we were waiting. First line, and this lady is taking forever, and we couldn't go to the other line, to the other counter, because something else was happening there. And everybody in the line was like, oh my God, because they kept taking things out of the suitcase, and the lady kept saying she didn't have anything else. And right there, all through the line, you have small bags that you can put all of your toiletries in there if you don't have any with you. So anyways, everybody was complaining. Once the lady moved, one of the ladies moved, the line went like that, fast. And then we had to take another elevator, go down again. And everybody in that elevator, everybody was like, oh my God, but don't you, I mean, is this your first time for reals? Like, God. And then she didn't have like toiletries, like small bottles. She had like the big thing. It was crazy. Anyways, enough with the lady. So finally we got to our gate again, and then it's kind of weird. Like, you had so many screens where all of the flights are listed, and you don't have a gate until maybe between 45 to 30 minutes that your plane leaves. So I think our plane left at 8 Gatwick to go to Amsterdam. So, you have to keep checking. Well, let me tell you, I slept because, oh my God, they have some comfy seats. I slept. Well, before I tell you about me sleeping. So we went to have breakfast. We had, we were hungry. Hubby was hungry. I wasn't. Hubby was hungry. And we went to eat at this restaurant in Gatwick. And I try to look and I can't find it. I can't remember the name, but it is disgusting. It is disgusting. He was hungry, so he's like, it's not bad. I mean, I'm not good. No, it's food. He's like, it's food. And I'm like, yeah, but it is very expensive food. I mean, between hubby and I, he spent, I think it was 45 pounds on breakfast. That wasn't good. How can you mess up eggs? How? Anyway, so after that, we went to the bathroom, whatever. And I was like, we have time to spare. I'm going tonight. Bye. And I slept. He didn't. I did. Maybe towards the last hours, and dozed over for a little bit, but I did sleep. So it's time for us to board our other plane. Finally, we're going to Amsterdam. It's loud in there. CLT to JFK, JFK to Gatwick. It was quiet, but Gatwick to Amsterdam. Oh my God. It was so loud. It was a carnival in there. People were wearing sashes, like Miss Universe, like the misses do those sashes. They had tattoos. Orange tattoos on their face, on their forehead, in their arms. And I was like, what is going on? And it was a lot of young people, lots. For a minute, I thought they call it a hen's party, which is a bachelorette party. It was young people and they were having a ball. I want to be them, but I was so tired. Finally, we get to Amsterdam. And everybody knew where they were going. Us, we're reading the signs. We're like, oh, here. Something I noticed is they didn't ask us to fill any landing cards. And I'm like, well, maybe we don't need it here. This time we do have to go across immigrations. We do have to pass through immigrations. And it's a booth and there's 2 immigration guards. So husband goes to one and I go to the other one. And we're standing there right in front of them. They look at each other like that and they laugh. They're like, huh? And hubby and I are like, oh God. So at the same time, they ask us. And they were so serious. They look mad. They were like, why are you here? And we look at each other and we talk we started to stutter and everything. We're like on a vacation. And they look at each other again and you could see their plotting in their face. But what do we know? I mean, and they're like, but why? Like that. They were like, but why? And we look at each other and how do you answer that? You're on vacation. Why? Because you can, maybe? So we're like, we want to know the city. And then they look at each other again and they just bursted laughing at each other and us. And, we're looking, husband and I are looking at each other and be like, what just happened? They look at each other again and they ask us, do you know what's happening tomorrow? And we're like, oh, come on now. And they look at each other, they busted laughing and they say, tomorrow is Cunning's Day or the King's birthday. And it's a national holiday. And we're like, oops, sorry, we didn't know. We didn't know, actually. So we're like, oops. They toned down their tone and they're like, oh yeah, it's a big party. Center City is gonna be shut down. You're gonna have a blast. Just remember to wear. Oh, they ask us, do you have any orange with you? And I'm like, I don't think I do. Hubby did. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, I don't know. And he's like, well, make sure you wear your orange tomorrow because orange is the color for the kid. And we're like, oh, now everything started making sense. All the loud, all of the noise in the airplane. Why were people so loud? Why were they wearing? Because I do remember also the sashes, they were orange. So everything is like making sense now. So we exit immigrations and we're like, we are so stupid. Why didn't we research any of this? But anyways, so hubby care was like, well, I do have my orange shirt. And I'm like, damn it, I don't think I have any orange. We start walking in the airport to exit the airport. And I see they have, oh my God, it was like a food court in there. Like that airport is enormous. We're going straight to the hotel. It's late. You want to eat something now? It's like, yeah, if you want. So we ate at this quaint restaurant, which was so good. Like we had to think for a moment where we wanted to eat. And I look across from this restaurant and it's a Burger King. And I'm like, shit, I come all the way down here to eat at a Burger King? I don't think so. So we went ahead and went to eat there. We had, both of us had paella with chicken, salad, and it was so good. I also think it was kind of cheap, thinking of the food at Gatwick. I think between hubby and I, it was around 25 euros. So you can say it was, I mean, it was good. And the food was a lot. The plate looked small, but it was a lot of food. Take it from me. It was a lot of food. So we are going to stop now for today's story time, our first time in Amsterdam. Please, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to our channel and share it with your friends and family who are thinking about traveling or like traveling as much as we do. Thank you.